about that. Now we're on the foundation board together, but I think everybody in this room, I feel like, really knows what the foundation board is really. We're charged with being the best fiduciary and steward of the dollars that we've got for this wonderful place. The Gelser team runs it, and the market's been really good to us the last couple of years. Not so much in December and January, but that's okay. We had a good 24-month run, so the portfolio is doing awfully well. And so I took that position over from my friend Dan Strahl, who's still on our exec committee, and I think he's traveling the world. He's always in Greece, or who knows where he is, so he's not here today, but he sends his love from somewhere in the world. I got to see Jim and Kim Perucker here, who are friends of mine, before Elaine went here, and encouraged me to look at St. Richard's at the bar at the Meridian over a glass of wine. There's some good wine there in the back that I did procure for tonight, so I am pretty passionate about the wine and the beer selection in the back, but it was a donation from Jennifer Hughes and me. But so I remember that day sitting there with Jim and Kim talking about this little school that they're just so thrilled with. And I was like, I went home to Jenny. I said, the Pruckers really think we ought to look at the St. Richard's place. And so she said, well, the Colbys sent Audrey there. And I said, well, okay, I was like, we'll give it a shot, because her daycare at Polly Panda, if anybody knows where that is a good little daycare, was like, hey, she's kind of ready to leave Polly Panda. She needs to go to a place with a curriculum. And I was like, okay, well, Polly Panda was a pretty penny, and I was like, St. Richard's is about, it's not too about the same. I was like, we can do that. We thought maybe we're two public school kids, we'd just send the kids to public school, and here we are now. Elaine's an 8th grader, Henry's in 4th grade, and she'll be at Brebeuf in the fall. And so we've been, what I would say, lifers at St. Richard's, and it's been a little bit of I'd say, for those that know me real well, a little challenging week at school for us with our 4th grader. But Suzanne Hummer, Mr. Heron, and Catherine was warden, now is O'Shea, have been pretty fantastic. And I think that, to say that mildly, they've been wonderful getting him through this week. It's been a challenging kind of re-entry for him back into school after the holidays, and kind of some changes in his medication and things like that. So they've been unbelievable. I don't think we couldn't have really done the week without the teachers here. And we're here at G3 to celebrate all of you that have supported this school, both with your passion, with your energy, and being here, certainly financially, in terms of the scholarships. But we're really here to celebrate those two teachers that John and Leslie talked about. And so, without further ado, I will quit yapping, but I couldn't be happier to be here. G3 is a great celebration. Andy's got a great spread. Of course, I'm a fan of the booze in the back that I brought here tonight. Let me bring up Maggie. She's got a lot, because she's an alumni and now a current parent. She's come full circle, so I'm not going to steal her thunder. But let me say thank you for coming, and let's have a really fun time. We're looking forward to the presentation tonight. Thanks again.
Everyone make sure to, so loud. Everyone make sure to really thank Mason for that wine. He is very thrilled with what he prepared for the evening, so yeah. Like Mason said, my name is Maggie Klein. I am an alum, and I am a current parent, so I have a 1st grader and a pre-care, and I am on the foundation board, and so I kind of helped out with this evening and said I would say a few words. So what I thought I would talk about tonight is the fact that I know we all know the St. Richard's motto of knowledge and values for a lifetime. And I believe I am a decently good example of how true of an adage that is. I can still credit the academic and practical education that I received here with creating a solid foundation that I was able to build upon throughout my life. I believe that a less frequently used phrase, but one that might impart just as important a sentiment, is St. Richard's ability to create friendships for a lifetime. This is especially relevant for me as we gather to recognize Jeff Grauman this evening. I first met Mr. Grauman. I still struggle to this day to call him Jeff. 26 years ago in January of 1999. When he started at St. Richard's midway through the year, right after Christmas break. So it was almost exactly 26 years ago. And funny enough, his first week of school was surprisingly similar to our first week back this year. So we were hit with a big snowstorm, and I know my mom was just talking to him about this, and she can remember, which I have forgotten. We came back to 2 snow days, 1 day of school, and 2 snow days. And then we came back the following week, and it was like, I think she said it was, we had 2 days of school, and then a snow day, and then 2 days of school. So I feel like us parents kind of escaped, it seemed really bad, this entering in with this snow day and everything, but it could have been worse. So, consequently, I do remember my classmates and I thinking that Jeff was a substitute teacher because it was just a very crazy time. How very lucky for us all that not only was he not a sub, but that he has continued to make a lasting impact on literally hundreds and hundreds of St. Richard's graduates during his time here. I am so grateful for his guidance as my teacher, as well as his subsequent friendship during 26 years and counting of my lifetime. And hopefully that friendship will be passed on to my children to be enjoyed during their lifetimes. I have told him that upon pain of death, he is not allowed to retire until my youngest, who again is in pre-K, has graduated. So we should have at least until 2035 with him. You're welcome. So, yep. He's back there. I can see him. Adam's just standing there like, I'm not. But what first got me thinking about the concept of friendships for a lifetime was actually this drawing, which my first grader, Eloise, brought home in September. Specifically, the names on this cloud caught my eye. You can't see it very well, but it says Eloise and it says Marin. I asked my daughter about it, and she said, oh, my friend Marin and I draw pictures for each other all the time. So naturally, I text Marin's mom a picture of this drawing, and she sends me back this drawing that she found in Marin's backpack at the same time. So the girls had drawn matching pictures of themselves together and then, brought them home. So that was hanging up on our art wall. And this is all very sweet, but what makes it so special is that Marin is the daughter of my friend, Jenny Hamblin, who I knew as Jenny Muller, because Jenny and I went to St. Richard's together from kindergarten through 8th grade. And I frankly did not have the time, I told John, I did not have the time to find my old St. Richard's yearbooks and go through them. And I'm sure there are truly some gems in them because Jenny and I were cheerleaders here. There would, I'm sure, be quite a few. But I did find this picture of Jenny and me in 2005 at our graduation from Brebeuf. And this is a picture of us with 2 other St. Richard's alums from our class of 2001 that we took in 2023 at an event here. You can see it's in the Limler Garden right out there. And then this is a picture of our daughters that I took in November when I found them walking down the hall after school holding hands. And then, just to tie it all back to the reason that we're here tonight, this is a picture from this morning of those 2 girls with their homeroom teacher, Jordan Hadley, who we get to hear from tonight as we celebrate her. So, when you think about your St. Richard's experience, whether you're in my boat with a pre-K student or you're in Mason's boat with an 8th grader, know that the friendships you and your children are making here at St. Richard's are not just friendships, they are truly friendships for a lifetime. So, I will let you...
Incredible. Thank you so much, Maggie. I'm honored to welcome up Greg Hummerkauser next. Let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way up here.
Thank you, sir. One more round of applause for John Kretz, who's amazing and puts all this stuff together. I love Johnny, he's been fantastic. I think he asked me Monday if I'd speak, and I'm like, I never shy away from public speaking, so I'll get up here and wing it a little bit, although that was very challenging to follow. I will just kind of give everybody our quick story. First of all, I joined the foundation board because they wanted somebody to be able to look after Mason, make sure he doesn't make mistakes. I'm really here to babysit him. It's been relatively easy so far. No, I really enjoy being on the foundation board and just being a part of, where the money's being allocated, what the school needs. I just always want to be involved in my kids' lives as much as I can, and that was a great way for me to do it. It's been a wonderful experience so far being all you guys. So our experience kind of starts similar to everybody else's. We heard about St. Richard's. My wife, being Jewish, we were kind of a little leery of a religious school. We're raising our kids Jewish. And then we came in for the tour, and like everybody, we were like, oh my God. I mean, it was just amazing. The kids standing up, the eye contact, and I have made sure to continue to voice my opinion to Dr. Hosey and everybody. Like, we do not want to lose those core values. I mean, that's why we're here. We love the diversity. We love the socioeconomic diversity, but more than anything, we love that when you meet a St. Richard's kid, there's eye contact, there's manners, there's speaking with adults. I mean, that is, the foundation of our children, and it's very, very important to me. And they're definitely getting that here. We love it. So as I look around and just see all these people, Nikki being one of them, we were just talking about last year winning the 5th and 6th grade girls basketball championship, St. Richard's. We're about to do it again. I do want to say it was my first year as head coach. It was the only time the school has ever won the title. I don't want to take all the credit. It was a team effort. But let's just say we got a squad this year. And one thing that I have stressed to Mr. Brady and to Dr. Hosey is, the power of really pushing sports too, because that molded so much of my life and my childhood. So I like seeing the St. Richard's push for sports. I went and watched the 7th and 8th grade basketball team last night, 5th and 6th grade. And our kids are just, they're good sports. It's just awesome to see what good student athletes they're becoming. So the coaches are great. I can't say enough good things about the school. As we talked about the teachers here, I have a 14-year-old who's in 8th grade. She hates me now. I have a 6th grader who is about to be 12, and we have a 1st grader bringing up the rear who is about to be 7. So we have had the whole smorgasbord of all the teachers and been here for 7 years. Love every one of the teachers. It's such a honor to be recognizing 2 teachers that both of my kids have right now, Mr. Grauman and Mrs. Hatley. So, more than anything, guys, I just want to say that we love this place. We love the direction the school is going. We love the job that Dr. Hosey is doing and Mr. Brady is doing. I want to make sure you always tell my kids to tuck their shirt in, to walk in a straight line, to make eye contact. Like, that is important to everybody that sends their kids here, right? So we want to make sure that we don't lose that. One story that I will give today was I did chaperone the 1st grade trip to the zoo. Miss Flanagan does not mess around, and I just absolutely, I loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, is she talking to me? Do I need to sit down? I'm chaperoning. But I love it when the teachers talk, they command the room. That's what I'm looking for in a school. And when you think about the tuition, Betsy and I were adamant about going public schools, but then it's like, what are we working for, right? I mean, it's our children are our everything, George, right? So when you look at the 3 times, 20? times 7 years, well, I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but I will say that it is worth every single penny. So, thank you. Thanks for asking me to speak. I appreciate it. Go Dragons.
Let's give both of our foundation board guest speakers one more big round of applause.
Mrs. Cohn, will you join me here, please? Ellen. Grab. I'm sorry. I said Cohn. Mrs. Grab. No wonder you're looking around. I'm here. We have a historical correction to make. Oh, I understand you started G3. I did. Please tell us about that. And we apologize for the error in our history. Oh, how did it begin?
Because you were right, David Amstutz said goodness, gumption, and grit. And that was, as you know, part of a lot that he said. But I really picked up on goodness, gumption, and grit because I think that that is an incredible trilogy. It is really, really good, and they support one another. So I wanted something simple for us to be able to remember, and it was G3. So it's a wonderful way to bring us all together, an intergenerational group. So thank you for including me.
And thank you, Mrs. Crabb.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a huge round of applause to Jordan Hatley as she makes her way up here. Which was up here. Give us just a second, folks. And it is no longer up here. Miss Eubanks, would you please make your way to the stage? Audience, if you'd please take a second to mingle amongst yourselves. Thank you. Refill your drinks, grab some food. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could please have your attention. If I could please have your attention. I didn't give you too much time to mingle, and I apologize about that. But if you would please give a huge round of applause for Mrs. Jordan Hatley.
Thank you. I don't want to take too much of Greg's shine here, but I did win the 78 volleyball championship 2 years in a row, so. Well, I want to start off by saying hello and good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jordan Hatley. I have worked at St. Richard's since 2016. I started as Sam Lingeman's kindergarten teaching assistant, and I am now in my 4th year as a lead as a grade 1 teacher. So I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight, and I'm incredibly excited incredibly grateful for the opportunity that I was given to travel to Italy this summer. I want to start my presentation by just expressing my sincerest gratitude and thanks for all of you choosing me to receive the Teacher Renewal Grant and for supporting my professional and personal growth. It's because of all of you that I was able to go on the trip of a lifetime, and Garrett and I got to have a really cool honeymoon. I'm excited to share how my experience has benefited me, how I anticipate that it will benefit my students, and how my trip will continue to contribute to my teaching practice here in grade 1. So over the summer, my husband Garrett and I were able to travel to Italy for 15 days and briefly France with the grant that you all so graciously bestowed upon me. I know that if Garrett were up here, he would be just as thankful as I am. This trip was a trip that we had dreamed up far before I won this award, but honestly, we didn't think we would be able to swing anytime soon. It allowed me to explore a country I've never been to before, and I've been dying to go to, and it allowed Garrett to travel outside of the country for the first time ever. In our 15 days abroad, we were able to travel to Paris, Venice, Florence, San Gimignano, Siena, Pisa, Rome, Naples, Pompeii, Sorrento, and Positano. It was a lot. Traveling through Italy opened our eyes to new cultures, history, traditions, and even a couple new recipes. We were able to visit and learn so much about so many of Italy's ancient structures, including tours of the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, Domus Aurea, and Pompeii. We visited the ancient cities of San Gimignano and Siena, and we learned about the famous horse race known as Palio di Siena, which is held within the walls of Siena twice every year. We got to visit the Rialto Bridge, the Spanish Steps, the Trevi Fountain, the Pantheon, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Statue of David, Duomo di Firenze, the Baptistery of St. John, and we even climbed 414 steps to the top of Giotto's bell tower. One of us might have cried. I'll allow you to all think it was Garrett. Finally, we learned how to eat and cook like the Italians do. We did a food and wine tasting in both Venice and Florence. We did a pizza making class in Naples, and we ended our trip by making gnocchi and tiramisu from scratch at a local Italian family's home in Positano. All of our experiences ignited a sense of curiosity in me, which I aim to foster in my students. Italy's rich history and culture deepened my understanding of diversity and inspired me to create an even more inclusive classroom. The people that we met from all different backgrounds and countries also enriched my perspective on building relationships not only out in the world, but within the four walls of my classroom as well. As a grade 1 teacher, I see the value in introducing my students to new cultures early on and return from this trip with a renewed inspiration to do just that. My trip gave me a new sense of importance on building community and connection within my classroom to create a community resembling that of a family. The Roman Empire inspired a new emphasis on how important teamwork is. We have spent the year in grade 1 practicing how we can help others and work together as a team. We have also used this value of teamwork to emphasize how leadership is about caring for others and sharing your gifts with one another. We have explored how to be good leaders in our classroom by helping our friends and making responsible choices. Each year during Christmas time, we study holidays and traditions that are celebrated around the world. One of those traditions is the tradition of La Befana, an old Italian witch. We learn about the legend of La Befana, create a broom craft, read stories about La Befana and Italian culture, and even learn some Italian words. This project allows the students to learn about the world that exists beyond their immediate environment and allows them to participate in cultural exploration. From exploring Italy's landmarks to learning about its art, history, and language, I plan to immerse my students in experiences that will broaden their minds and encourage curiosity. I will also focus on how we can be kind, responsible citizens in our community, just as the Italians have shown me. This journey to Italy has been life-changing, and I'm thrilled to share what I've learned with my students. Thank you again for your support, and I look forward to making this experience part of their educational journey. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's give her one more big round of applause, please. Next up is Mr. Jeff Grauman. And before Jeff comes to the stage, I thought it would be really cool to not have me introduce him, but actually have a video of me introducing him. And I'll explain kind of what that means just in a second. So what we're going to play is a clip from our annual awards day. And this is when the entire school community found out that he won the inaugural Phillip and Jane Cox Excellence in Teaching Award. And what I want you to pay attention to is how loud it is in the gym. And hopefully technology will work for us. Cox Excellence in Teaching Award. In recognition of the great teaching, Phillip Cox and Carolyn Cox, both graduates of the class of 2008, experienced over their many years at St. Richard's, the Cox family is pleased to support an award to a member of the St. Richard's faculty, recognizing them for excellent teaching. The award carries with it a significant stipend to be used as the recipient desires. This year's recipient has shown a strong dedication and commitment to his students' career, his passion for teaching, and to St. Richard's Episcopal School. By combining a fun and a caring approach with foundational skills and principles, his students learn, grow, and become fully prepared for what's next. With the foundation of effective teaching, he built up his students' development with the 5 pillars defined through the St. Richard's education. Over the years, current students and alumni have shared with him how impactful and transformative his class was to them. One shares, "I appreciate your imagination. The way you taught your class encouraged me to think critically about the issues that came up. You made history interesting by engaging us and making it colorful instead of making us read textbooks and mindlessly copy down notes. Every day I would look forward to your class." This year's recipient discovered their true calling in life here at St. Richard's, being a role model, a leader, and a mentor for the hundreds of students he has had the privilege of teaching over the last 25 years. Please join me in congratulating the inaugural recipient of the Phillip and Jane Cox Excellence in Teaching Award, Jeff Grumman. Jeff, come on up. And notice it's still going, and it gets louder.
That was one of my coolest moments of my life. I did not know you were going to do that. No, I was like, oh, I'm just going to speak a couple things. I was not expecting Maggie to say all that stuff, and I'm like back in the room just, yeah. And by the way, Maggie, I have all kinds of yearbooks that you can come and look at, you and Jenny.
I have them, I just didn't have time to. Post incriminating pictures of myself.
Good evening. I'm Jeff Robin. I'm the 6th and 7th grade history teacher here at St. Richard's. As has been mentioned, January marks my 26th year here at St. Richard's. Last year, for my 25th anniversary, I was honored to have been chosen for this inaugural award of the Phillip and Jane Cox Excellence in Teaching, which is amazing to have been the inaugural winner. And like I said, it was one of the highlights of my career to have received that. I can't tell you how many times I watched that clip. It's just amazing. And during that, you can't see the kids off to the side. It was hilarious because I'm sitting there in the front row and I was just like nervous, and all the kids just are like, "Is it you?" And I'm just like focusing on John and I'm listening, and then you hear the clapping halfway through. Adam was back there, as he is right now, recording, and they were like, "Adam's recording it, it's Mr. Grumman." So it was a great moment. I loved it. So going back to the award, I was fortunate enough to have known Phillip and Jane, having taught their brilliant children, Phillip and Caroline. They were kind, caring, and loving parents whose generosity and dedication to education lives on through this award, which is so meaningful as an educator to have received it. I was humbled to have been nominated by our beloved Andrea Neal, actually, our grade 8th history teacher, whom you all love and is just an amazing person. Full disclosure, Andrea was also nominated by one of her peers for the award. She declined to apply because she had moved to part-time teaching. And she was like, no, because of course that's just like Andrea, not to she's like, no, I'm not going to. So she nominated me. Because had she applied, I don't think I would be standing up here right now. You'd be listening to a much more interesting speech. I said something that I was like, I'm going to give college. She was like, do not bring me up. Do not talk about me. I was just like, so don't tell her I brought her up. I was able to use this award to help with some unfortunately timed home repairs that happened right around that time. New gas pipes are not as glamorous as one would think. So that was taken care of. And then I was able to, shockingly, another trip to Italy with my partner Adam. I won the G3 a couple years ago, and we went to Italy because that's what we do at St. Richard's. So Adam and I were able to head back to Rome because we didn't have enough of that, and we went through Tuscany, drove through Tuscany, and went up to the Alps to Stresa, on Lake Maggiore. It was magical. Why St. Richard's doesn't have a timeshare or property in St. Richard's? Could you look into that? That's what we do, evidently. So, nominees for this award have to show evidence of effective teaching based on the 5 pillars through a portfolio and a video. So rather than continuing to ramble up here to you guys, I'm just going to show you the video. Look closely at some of the pictures. There might be some blasts from the past, especially since this is literally like a family reunion in here. It's just like people from just last year to people that I met 26 years ago, and I mean, and everywhere between. That my students that are coming. It's just amazing. So some of you guys need to look closely at this. Catherine, you definitely need. Oh, you've seen this before, but yes, Catherine makes an appearance. There's going to be some former teachers that you're going to go, oh. So with that, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your generosity and continued support of our school. I can't say enough. So thank you so much. And this is where I'm just going to walk away because I've seen this so many times. I was just like, if Adam and I want to leave, we can. We've seen it so many times.
Go anywhere.
I'm Jeff Drummond. I'm the grade 6 and grade 7 history teacher here at St. Richard's Episcopal School, and I'm applying for the Phillip and Jane Cox Excellence in Teaching Award.
In December of 1998, when I was still new in my teaching career, I interviewed for a position at a small Episcopal school at the corner of 33rd Meridian Streets in Indianapolis, Indiana. I was told that the students were busy preparing for something called Lessons and Carols. I had no idea what that was or how over the following years it was to become, for me, a cherished part of the culture and traditions of the place I would begin to think of as home. Little did I know at the time that this interview would be more than just the start of another job. It was the beginning of a journey of personal and professional growth, honing my craft and striving for excellence while discovering my true calling in life, being a role model, leader, and mentor for the hundreds of students that I've had the privilege of teaching over the last 25 years. To me, teaching is more than just a career. It is the enduring and defining part of who I am. While other things in life have come and gone, teaching has always been and remains a core piece of my identity. From the moment in 7th grade when my own history teacher sparked in me a love of history and learning, I have felt called to bring that same joy of learning to others. Since that early age, I've been determined to be the best educator I could be, and it has been a true privilege and honor to make a difference in the lives of all my students. I remember how challenging adolescence can be, and I try to bring that perspective with me into the classroom, making my students feel seen and respected, not just as pupils, but as people. This is a special time in children's lives, being young enough to enjoy a fun and sometimes goofy approach to learning, yet old enough to be challenged with complex ideas taught to them at an advanced level. By combining this caring and fun approach with foundational skills and principles, my students learn, grow, and become fully prepared for the next level of their education. From the outside, it may appear that I just teach history, but in reality, history is merely the vehicle by which I teach them the most important lessons.
Through my carefully planned curriculum, crafted and improved over a quarter of a century, I use the important moments of history to instill skills that will prepare them for the remainder of their educational years and beyond. By leveraging an array of projects and presentations, incorporating a variety of learning styles, students leaving my class have learned skills and techniques that set them up for success and frequently place them among the top of their peers when entering high school. From improved reading comprehension and writing skills, detailed note-taking, effective study techniques, and writing research papers, to doing hands-on kinesthetic learning and scripting and filming multimedia presentations, my students are challenged to take active roles in their education, empowering them to become lifelong learners. Some of my most truly gratifying experiences in my teaching career have been when former students have taken the time to tell me how transformative and impactful my class was for them. Getting 4s and 5s on their AP history exams and being better prepared freshman year than their peers from other schools. We're still using the quote-unquote ramen note-taking method in their college courses. Former students frequently confirm to me that my methods have proven to be highly successful. Using this underlying foundation of effective teaching, I build up my students' development with the 5 pillars that define a St. Richard's education and sets it apart from other schools. With an in-depth exploration of ancient civilizations that have shaped the course of human history, to the cultures and peoples that were the precursors to our modern civilization, I teach classic curriculum to my students in a way that allows them to learn the lessons of history and apply it to today's society, preparing them with the tools to understand our modern world. Whether we're building Sumerian city-states, learning about Mesopotamia with Billy the Goat, mummifying apples, or creating a slides presentation to compare and contrast the policies of Augustus Caesar with those of the United States, history comes alive in my classroom in an exciting way that makes for lifelong memories. Within this classic curriculum, we highlight the impact of faith in societal development by learning about many of the religions of the ancient world and those practiced today and their influence on the course of human history. By being exposed to a variety of the beliefs and ideologies, St. Richard's students develop a respect for different faith traditions and diversity of opinion. Recognizing the importance of having our students become participatory citizens, I contribute to the pillars of civic responsibility and global readiness through a current events curriculum. Looking at our individual role within our local community and the larger world beyond, activities such as visiting the Indiana State House, drafting and passing their own mock legislation, and learning of the inner workings of our government and elections, students see the importance of involvement in our democracy. Through a study of geography and in-depth discussions of more recent historical events like the Cold War and September 11th, students learn how events of yesterday continue to shape our world today, which contributes to their global readiness. I model the pillar of leadership to my students and peers by volunteering my time and talents back to St. Richard's. Over the years, some of the many leadership roles I have served in have included 2 times as the ISACS Accreditation Co-Chair, serving 3 times as a member of the ISACS Accreditation Steering Committee, the faculty representative to the Board of Trustees, the chair of the Expectations and Standards Committee, a faculty representative committee member, and multiple search and hiring committees for heads of school, heads of division, and faculty members. By sharing a brief history of my time here, my passion for education, and my approach to teaching, I hope I have demonstrated my dedication and commitment to my students, my career, and to St. Richard's Episcopal School, and to the spirit of this award. I would be honored to be its recipient. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you, Jeff. Let's give him one more huge round of applause. As I mentioned earlier, the Foundation Board awards the Faculty Renewal Grant and the Phillip and Jane Cox Excellence in Teaching Award once a year. Our most recent winner is Mrs. Carolyn Flanagan, who is here tonight. Give her a big round of applause. We're so excited about her trip to the Galapagos Islands off the coast of Ecuador and her presentation about it next year.
Thank you again so much for joining us this evening to celebrate St. Richard's and the wonderful work we do here every day. Throughout the past few years, I've witnessed incredible teaching and learning, growth, and experiences at St. Richard's that are unlike any other school. I want the school to succeed and continue to provide St. Richard's experiences for years to come. I'm focused on educating and providing the best education for the students and families in this building today. And as you heard tonight, we have a tremendous faculty and staff in place to make it happen.
And I just have to note that you in this room and many others have helped us create a culture of philanthropy here at St. Richard's. We're so excited about the future of our special school and what we're building. Thank you again for being here tonight and for your continued support of our special school. Before we close, I want to mention, please be sure to take your wine glasses home with you. There's a special thank you gift from the school. If you haven't gotten one or you don't drink wine, go grab one off the bar at the back, please. And as a special surprise, to end our evening together, I'd like to introduce two St. Richard's alums who will come up individually to read their What St. Richard's Means to Me essays. So first, let's welcome Austin Neal. Give him a round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Austin Neal. I am a St. Richard's class of 2024 graduate, and I now attend Cathedral High School. And this is my What St. Richard's Means to Me essay. It all started coming to St. Richard's at the age of 3 and being welcomed by an amazing, lovely teacher, Miss Kilfoyle. When I first got to St. Richard's, it provided for me to go to school with my siblings. I enjoyed this because I always liked seeing them in the hallway so I could say hi and give them a hug. The reason I like this so much is because my brother has already graduated high school and is in college, and my sister is a senior this year in high school, so I won't get to spend any time with them in high school. Most schools don't consider 5th grade middle school, but here at St. Richard's they do. Even though I had to spend some of my time doing virtual learning 5th grade year, I still felt like it prepared me for the next years to come. Once 6th grade came around, I really felt that was the year I really struggled. Math was really hard for me. In history, I wasn't being a good student. But the teachers here really tried their hardest for me. That's one thing at St. Richard's that I really like. You can always go ask them a question and they will be there for you and make sure you understand. 7th grade year, I decided not to take a language class anymore and take a class called Student Success. I definitely think that's the best decision I've ever made in my life. My teacher for that class, Miss Love, really helped me stay on top of my assignments and made sure I was studying ahead of time. She made learning fun. I remember studying for a science test and she came up with these dances that would go along with what we were learning. And then, for the first time, I was like, what is she doing? This is not gonna help me. I was totally wrong. I would take the test and just remember everything from the dance. Another teacher that gave me a big opportunity and believed in me was Mr. Sherrill. When I was in 4th grade, Mr. Sherrill gave me the chance to do basketball intramurals again or play up on the 5th and 6th basketball team. I took the chance and played up on the team. That moment in my life really showed me that I have people on my side who believe in me. Even though we didn't win the championship, we still had a good season and it was good practice for me to be ready for next year. St. Richard's really gives you the opportunity to travel. In 5th grade, every year, you have the chance to host a French exchange student at your house, then go visit your buddy's family and where they live. Unfortunately, since our 5th grade year was COVID, we didn't have the chance to be a part of this annual tradition. So in the summer of our 6th grade year, the school took 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to Quebec for if you take French class, or Puerto Rico, or if you're in Spanish class. I was in French class, so I got the opportunity to travel to Canada. This was an amazing experience. We got to learn so much new information and try new foods. In 7th grade, we found out we were going to Italy for spring break. When I told my family the news, my mom said, "Austin, you are lucky to go to St. Richard's because you keep getting the opportunity to travel to new places." When she said that, I really thought what she said and was like, wow, she's right. So when we went to Italy this year, which was a good experience besides the food, most of you guys know I am a picky eater, so I only enjoyed the pizza. But besides the food, Italy was an amazing experience. We got to visit ancient places like the Colosseum and the Circus Maximus. Without the help of Mr. Grom in 7th grade history class, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed Italy that much. All of the ancient places we talked about, I got to really see up in person. An annual tradition for St. Richard's is for 8th grade to go on a trip to DC. This was my second time being in DC, but this most recent time I went was definitely a better experience. The tour guide was good and took us to these historic places like the White House, the Capitol, and the Monument. Then we got to see famous memorial sites like the Jefferson Memorial. With all the traveling being said, I know how much St. Richard's gave me the opportunity to travel to such good places. As my time is coming to an end at St. Richard's, it wouldn't have all been possible without my friends. Most of my main friends came to St. Richard's around the same time as me or a little after. They were people I spent my lunch and recess with. My friends were amazing sources of laughter and joy, and whenever I was feeling down that day, they always made sure to make me feel better. These are the type of people I will call my lifelong friends. I just want to say thank you to all the amazing people throughout my 11 years of being here. Thank you, teachers. Thank you, friends, and especially thank you to Miss Angie for making such good peanut butter and jellies throughout the day. I will definitely be leaving St. Richard's with knowledge and values for a lifetime.
Wonderful. And now I'm honored to welcome up Miss Jean Palumbo. Give her a round of applause.
I cried every day at Mrs. McGregor's doorway in pre-K. Bit of a tongue twister for you. I was that kid who hugged my mom's leg in my Hannah Anderson dress and had tears rolling down her cheeks as she was getting dropped off. Once I was finally prodded into the room and the door was closed behind me, I went to a corner to read a picture book with wide eyes. I sniffled my way through all the stories in the classroom library, and only then would I feel brave enough to find friends on the world carpet. I remember seeing my classmates in that room, playing with blocks and dressing the weather frog every morning. Now whenever I come into contact with my classmates from St. Richard's, I see not kids in backyardigan shirts with Doc McStuffins backpacks, but my closest friends and supporters, many of whom I have taken with me on this next chapter of my life, and the next, and I will. I think that St. Richard's has been three things for me: a place of learning, a safe space, and a capacity for growth. As aforementioned, I was intensely shy and scared of everything presented to me: a classroom, new potential friends, and learning. However, as I grew out of that girl, I grew into one who learned here and had so much fun doing it. I got to visit space from the comfort of Mrs. Berger's classroom, gazing in awe at the paper Saturn hanging from the ceiling, while my cardboard astronaut helmet kept slipping over my eyes. I got to hold a baby chick in my hand as we learned about the creation of birds and their eggs. Sure, it peed all over my gray skirt, but that was okay, because he was so soft and fluffy. I learned how to use a computer while making my penguin book in the first grade and marveled at the power I had to pick the picture of the chick that would go in my book. My biggest achievement is that they still use my little pamphlet as the example for each first grade class that does the project. I dressed up as insects and countries and founding fathers, and I've learned so much from this school. I was happy living my life in lower division, and nothing can go wrong. Just as everything was going so well, boom, I'm diagnosed with some disease, and it's called Crohn's, and it's my own body attacking itself for no overt reason. I was confused and in pain, and I missed many days of school. Just as that was going into remission, bam, I had an extra bone in both my feet that made it hurt to walk. I had to get them surgically removed, and I was on crutches for months. Again, bam, double concussion, which left me to stew in bed, only leaving to crawl to the bathroom. I felt like my body was giving up on me at every turn and cursing me at every bend. I started to develop a hate for my body, inside and out, that left me with numerous mental illnesses, causing me to do things that I'm not proud of at all. But every time I felt alone, I had the familiar smelling friend full of St. Richard's where I could eat a sun butter and jelly and forget about the darkness that cluttered my whole mind, engrossed in learning. I've had friends here who have helped me through everything from tummy troubles to bad grades. Every room I entered for a class had happy memories sewn into the walls, creating tapestries of times when my sicknesses didn't own me. Every teacher gave me small compliments that made my day and reached out to my parents when they were worried about me. My friends would shower me with hugs and notes and drawings, and this made me feel love right where I was, whether it was a fantastic sunny day or one of those rainy days that left me with headaches. Little by little, I healed. The lingering smell of musty carpets and kids who need to tone down the body spray became the smell of my home. And the sound of chairs rubbing against the floor and a sharp pencil against a fresh piece of lined paper became my anthem. The green doors made me feel safer than any other place has, and it's only because of the wonderful educators who work here. I thank anyone in this room who has ever helped kids like me repair their broken parts into something better than before, like all the teachers and staff did here for me. The stepping stones, after my long and arduous mitigation, were ones to aid me in my growth. Today, I'm better than ever before. My body is strong, I can row a 2K, go on runs and bike rides, and almost all of my illnesses are in remission. I have best friends and the most amazing support system, and I feel eternally grateful from the time I wake up to the time I fall asleep to have a life filled with so many beautiful people. I stand before you, not as the girl who was conquered by the circumstances in her life, but as the girl who conquered the circumstances in her life and rose above them. I have this school to thank for making me strong, pushing me through hard things, and treating me like a family member and the best family there could be. I'm excited to see where all my classmates go, from the Oval Office to the TV screen to forming companies. Everything here will make the world a better place, and they have already made mine better by a million, and that might not matter to them, but it matters to me. Thank you so much, St. Richard's, for creating, however beautifully and painfully, me. As an update, I just finished my first semester at Rebuff Jesuit Preparatory School with a 4.21 GPA. While in the midst of a towering iron deficiency. I completed a stellar fall rowing season in which I coxed a boat full of novices, which I trained, through 4 different races and 2 regattas. I'm the friend who always has an open ear and keeps snacks in her bag for hungry peers. St. Richard's made this life I lead possible, and everything I do is built on the foundation of the knowledge I've gained here. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give our young alumni one more huge round of applause. A huge thanks again to all of you for being here, spending time with us tonight. And read the board, don't forget your wine glass. We'll see you next time. Get home safe. Thank you.